Good morning, everybody. Boy, this market makes so much sense in that it opened lower here because it certainly looked like it was going to go higher. Anyway, it's been a day-to-day erratic market over the last couple of weeks. Things starting to recover here a bit, as you can see in the lower right chart. You can see the little sell-off that happened overnight. And it's coming up to some resistance here, but at least it won't be opening with a gap down under the breakout bars low. We'll see where it goes. 1 sec, guys. All right. So it's been in a trading range past couple of weeks, and obviously last Friday pushed up to a new all-time high. And it's got this sideways move, which has now created a big area of price support. So by no means should it break down below that, because this pattern is displaying that traders, institutions, believe that this market's going to go higher. So we now need to wait for some confirmation. And today, it would just be great if today just ended like this. They've got the whole day ahead of us. But by that, I mean a correction type of a bar. And okay, the spiders won't look like this. We'll see what, they'll be opening inside the range there. We'll take a look. But, a bar that takes out a prior bar's low and then closes up near the high within a bullish trend historically, sets up a new long setup, because this is just getting started. If we believe this can continue to move up, and I say it that way because this market has just been so erratic. But it's different than the past corrections in that this one's gone sideways versus all of a sudden, the markets are going up. I mean, our internals at the time gave us heads up to be careful, but be careful doesn't tell us it's going to, sell off in such a violent way and then immediately turn around. You don't hear anything? You know what? I don't see that mic moving. Hold on. Oh, it's okay there. All right. Usually the mic moves further than that. The little green thing. 1 second. Okay. All right. Well, as long as you guys can hear. All right. Hey, McGraw had his mute button on. Okay, thank you. So the prior ones were, these quick, fast sell-offs and immediately reversals. Whereas this time the correction has been a sideways one, which is, as we call this, building a launching pad. And it had this breakdown failure. Here was the topping tail, and it did go down and tested the prior low, came back up again. And, the move up Thursday, which was the bigger rally day, and then inched up Friday. And so I guess today, people may be coming back from long weekends. Who knows? Anyway, it just seems like today's going to be a quiet day because I don't see too much moving. We'll look at the other markets. Bitcoin's moving. So that's been on the move. And, we'll take a look at crude oil and gold, which gold got just killed overnight. So spiders, just take a look there. So they came up off of the low too. And so they were trading below that prior low a little while ago. And you can see this little move up that just occurred there. And so I didn't want to see it opening up below that bar's low. Not that it would have totally undid this consolidation, but a bullish day breaking out to a new high and gapping below the breakout bar's low, especially a little one like that, just not the way you want to start out where things look so bullishly. Anyway, 442-ish, just above, inside, going to start inside the day there, which makes it kind of a coin flip. Which way is it going to go? SPX, I think this is about, I think, say reservingly, you hear my voice, but close to a no-brainer, because this premium down here at 43.80 and 43.85. And just based on this bullish move up, I think it's inconceivable, right? Not always being open to whatever things start to sell off, but it just seems inconceivable that the S&P would go down there. Well, it's moved up from when I looked at it before, McGraw, so it probably makes sense where maybe we have to inch it up a little bit. But when I was reviewing what premiums were available, which was, I guess, a half hour ago or so, yeah, 43.90 should be okay. There's pretty big open interest at 4,400. At being a whole number, it would be a shock, to say the least, for this market to even get close to 4,400 with this type of a pattern. Something would have to be terribly wrong for this to create a red bar. Now, I've coined this market for a while, Mr. Schizophrenic. So, you just have to keep an open mind, but 4,400, it shouldn't even get close to there. Just based on this kind of a pattern. Just even coming halfway into Thursday's range, while it wouldn't be a disaster, would be a little bit unusual to come down there. So, under 4,400, it's close to a no-brainer, I think. And you can see the consolidation that's been going on here, all the lows. So I think that's probably pretty safe. If we should get a sell-off early on in the morning, well, then maybe get a little bit below it. Exactly. I think I saw, and the monthlies, they're, write it down. I think there was a huge open interest there, and some bearish bets coming in for 4,300, but that's far off away. All right. So what's going on here otherwise? Qs, pretty flat. But they, Friday, they were the weaker, and they have been the strongest one. They came up to new high, and just getting jiggles here, basically. Just jiggling around here. So far, creating a bottoming tail, come off of the low. So I just kind of think there's going to be another day of running in place. But we'll see how it unfolds, of course. The Russell, that's popping here. Inside day, coming off of the low. So we've got a weird kind of setup in that, the breakdown. This could be a type of a sell setup. This is consolidating. It's been acting relatively well the last few days, and obviously it is now. Financials did great on the end of the week with interest rates going up. The 10-year came up nicely off of this retest, which expanded or widened the yield curve a little bit, and that really helped financials in a big way, and the transport stabilized. And you can see the weekly chart here, a couple of bottoming tail bars now. So that looks like it's going to inch up, and I think that's a good thing for the markets, to see these interest rates move up a bit and that yield curve widen a bit. I think that'd be some relief, and of course the the financials doing better. With this nice bottoming pattern, wasn't so nice if you were long here as it was going sideways and gap down, but then there's bullish price action at resistance and this bottoming tail bar and clearing these highs. That's a good sign. And, so with the financials doing better, looking at, regionals doing better, and biotech, you know, it's been beaten down, but it's near this prior low. And the reason I'm looking at this is because you've got a lot of biotechs and a lot of regionals in the Russell 2000. So if these can get some legs, I mean, I think, not I think, I can't imagine how it doesn't open up the door for, the Russell, to pop above these highs and get going. So we'll see. And, AMC is a pretty big stock in there. And so you had this reversal day. And so if this can get going, I think we could see that Russell pop up to the top of the trading range, and then we'll see where it goes from there. The Dow, just the mess of a mess, it was rally down, up, down, up, down, up. And now the same bullish kind of price action, whether it's summer doldrums or just consolidating, at a resistance area and building that new launching pad until proven otherwise. I think this is going higher. The S&P is going higher, and we'll see how much the Qs participate since they, led the way up. Now, oil coming down could be a positive, could be a negative. Inflation concerns, well, oil coming down eases that. So that's a positive. Maybe just got as high as they did and, just pulling back. So that inflation concerning things is the biggest positive for oil coming down. There's always the view of, well, if oil's coming down, is that a bearish view for the economy? Since oil is used for so many things. Well, it could be, but it's not an absolute. So when we see, interest rates starting to turn back up, it kind of neutralizes that idea. If we see them both going down, well, yeah, so when they were going down here and oil was going up, not so bad. Oil's coming in because of China. Well, it was coming in before last night, so it was kind of coming off of that resistance area, which is over there to the left. And so this makes sense for some corrective price action. And what really got us shellacking, gold just really started lower, that topping tail, and then it broke that and, just going sideways there. Thinking, if it could get through here, it would have been a good shot for a really big move. And, the low started with that breakdown bar failure that we talked about at the time. And now, just such a nasty drop, and it's got a little mini climactic, as you can see here, into the prior low and just brought in buyers. So a technical bounce off of that. But a big disappointment for those long gold. Silver rolled over there and just continues to be in this this whippy range right now. And so the other positives from last week were cruise lines and airlines turning up. The equity markets did better. The transports, similar to interest rates, moved up. So there were lots of positives. And now we start off the day with a little bit of selling. And so we'll see where it all shakes out in a little while. I think it's just kind of be a consolidation day with the markets. Maybe just look for more news. It is August. A lot of people on vacation, and maybe that September is coming. So a move up. My thoughts were a week or so ago was, hey, if we can get some kind of a rally mode into the middle of August. I think last year it topped out toward the end of August, and then the markets pulled in. So, we've got this historical seasonal period of the worst month of September, and then coming to a climactic, I guess, depends on how it ships up, end to the correction in October. And then, can you believe we're talking about September and October? I mean, it seems like the new year was not moments ago, but wow, this year just flew by. And I think we still got quite a number of months to go here, but time's flying. All yours, Dan. Good morning, Rod.
All right, good morning. Looks like all our opens are fine. We're light in the advisory and the weekly options trader, only 2 opens. Excuse me, Bitcoin. Bitcoin's up, so dragging up some of these other ones. We got naked puts on coin, which has earnings this week, but I was saying I think this is a long-term bottom. So that's why I wanted to get some exposure, and so we have naked put. If you don't mind holding over earnings, it's a nice weekly bottom. I'm mad that we missed Mara on Thursday. So the Mara and Riot, as you know, are go-tos in coin now. And I was going to put this in the weekend letter, Riot, because Mara took off, and these two trade very, very similar. But the problem is it has earnings this week. MicroStrategy is another one that moves with the sector. We have a put spread on blockchain, so that's been doing really well. And finally, ETHE. We, like I said, let's sell half 5-minute low. We got into this and this continuation, or not. No, I forget exactly what day we did it, but we have a beautiful open gain in this. And it's right here. It's, gapping, and it's had a good run. So we're going to sell half. And then here's the judgment call. If you want to let it consolidate and or pivot, and then next target would be, I don't know, somewhere in here. Now I know there was a lot of talk about this in the infrastructure bill, and somebody was asking me Friday afternoon whether we should take some profits. And I said, there's nothing wrong with them. But, here's another good example of, well, what was the news? They're talking about taxing it, disclosure, this and that. And so you would think that that's a negative. And I would think it's a negative too if you're long Bitcoin. However, I think it's one of those things of it was pricing in worse than what's the outcome. So I don't know how much of today's gap is attributable to the weekend talk or whatever. If there's other people pumping it, but I don't care. The chart is the sum reflection. So that looks good. Thomas here, a couple things to look at. BTU, it's gapping down. Otherwise, it was bullish, daily, weekly, monthly. This was one we actually gave as a core trade. I think we did it right here as a 1, 2, 3, because I remember it being around $5. And I think we rode all this up, and then trail stopped here. But with the gap down, I don't see anything to do there. Thomas, Goldman, yeah, Goldman. Greg talked about banks. He traded the XLF. And Goldman and WFC. I just wish we got into those. I mean, look at this. This would have been a no-brainer 30-minute high. So you had the big gap up, price void, gap from consolidation, and that's a 1, 2, 3. Wells Fargo. Goldman, a sloppier one, but nevertheless, 30-minute high. Those would have been the entries. So Thomas, I'm not sure what your question is. They look higher. It's just I just have a hard time buying something this far from the 20 without a couple of bar continuation pattern. Let's see. Piton, I was looking to do a call spread on a bounce. CVI is a short from Friday at the bear 1, 2, 3. Those are on my list. NTNX is on my long list. Bottom right here, bottom right window here, Tyson earnings, bottoming pattern at the 200, gapping up to 73.50. So McGraw, this will be a no-brainer put spread if they tighten up and they're liquid. And then Workhorse also had earnings. Collapsed already. I texted a picture to our advisory letter folks that it was just bobbling around here at Friday's lows, which was perfect continuation, because then we have earnings done with. And so I was planning on shorting this 5-minute low, but it went kerplunk already. So it's bigger the gap, it's eating into my profit, because my target was 9. That's already eating that. S wave, wow, that's a big gap. Gap's too big. RSI, we found this in our 1, 2, 3 scanning Friday afternoon. So it is a quality 1, 2, 3, but in a downtrend, which is okay, provided you got a price avoid. And we did. So I didn't put this one in the letter, but it was a watch for today, for Monday morning. And I don't know if it had earnings or what, but it's ripping here pre-market. Wow. Hey, John. Yeah, Tesla got an upgrade. Yeah, I actually was looking to do a call spread under Friday's low, and it's fine. It's probably not going to trigger, and then we'll cancel it. Looking at other fangs here. Google I like as a put spread. Microsoft looks, I was looking for a put spread on this too, but I didn't see much juice. Facebook gapping up and coming in. We already have a put spread on Netflix, not much volume pre-market. Dunkin' is buying this company, GNOG. And typically the acquirer goes down on acquiring announcements. This one was up $3 and change earlier. It's worth watching. Let's see how it sets up. APD had earnings, and I can't tell where it's gapping, but this is a reverse head and shoulders. So I like APD if it can take out Friday's high. XPEL, actually I'm gonna go ahead and set an alarm because that looks good. APD. I guess I'll set an alarm at 292.75. XPEL, $87. There's no pattern there. Elon is getting whacked today, $32. Well, when I looked earlier, it was kind of holding right around the 33 level. Big gap of support, but now it's exceeding it. We'll come back to you. Verts 1466, we'll come back. USFD 3670, gap's too big. I don't know if that one was involved, but I know there's some food company merger. Oh, pre-market, this thing's a mess. Look at that whipping around pre-market. Another bottoming pattern, gap in a 67. McGraw put spread watch here. We'll keep an eye on that. I love these bottoming tail continuation patterns like this. I see one print up at 40. We'll come back to you, but this is a bullish daily right there. Dish earnings all over the place. If that gap is real low pre-market, then that's what we call a bear gap that bullies. We'll come back to you. Valleys looks higher. This thing looks like the whack job of the morning. 33 bucks down from 51. There's our workforce, Tyson, I mentioned, B-Fly. You know, here's what we call a bullish new low divergence. Made a new low and not going very far. 30-minute high, maybe put spread. I was watching this on Friday because I like the monthly. And this was one where I said, maybe it takes 2, 3, 4 days to set up to give us a new entry. Yeah, gold getting whacked. You know, it's funny how talk about it all the time. The media they just feed ideas into people's heads. And so these Bitcoin people are being taught, oh, well, you know, Bitcoin is a new inflation hedge. And, you know, that's sure changed how gold is viewed and traded. I mean, there's a lot of money affecting it. NCTY, look at all of these inside days. And that finally broke out Friday. I don't know, it's a mess. I think that was a SPAC, right? NCTY. All right, these are some leftovers we were looking at from Friday. Hassie, you know, the cruise ships, Kook. And now see the problem with these jets and cruise ships, even though they had a nice bounce Thursday and Friday, the dailies are still not great because there's no good price void. So RCL, and so I was checking them all to just try to sell puts on them, but the juice was not that attractive. NCLE, Jets coming in here. I went through all the individual jets and I kind of like JetBlue the best. Still in the downtrend, but possible higher low. If they can get over Friday's high, I think that's worth a nibble.